Before we start the video, guys, you need to sell your car through Honest Cars. You get more money for your car, you never deal with anyone trying to negotiate or anyone trying to chip the price down, you don't even need to take any pictures of your car, and you can do the whole thing without ever even leaving your house. Check the details in the description below and sell your car today the honest way. Morning everyone. So as I promised in the last video, I'm going to take you with me today to go and look at a car that I've just purchased from another trade platform. I'm going to show you how they appraise and advertise the car, and then we're going to go see what it's actually like. And it's going to show really clearly how Honest Cars makes everybody more money and makes the whole process an awful lot easier for both the buyer and the seller. This is the car in question, a Nissan Juke 2017 with 27,000 miles on it. And this is how the other platform and all the other platforms really advertise the cars to us dealers. You get a few general pictures, you get some general information on the car, and a bit further down, most importantly to the dealer, is you get the history of the car and the condition report. This is the only opportunity the dealer has to make an assessment on how good the car is and what sort of money they need to budget in order to get it into a retail condition that they want. So you can see on this car, the detailed information we've got is clear. Everything on this 6-year-old car is apparently mint, but they have said to us there is one dent on the passenger side door. So from our point of view, that dent's probably going to cost about £50 to get done. It's a really cheap, easy one to do. It's no big deal. So do remember this, because we're going to come back to it later. But for now, let's get in the car and let's go see what it's really. So we made it to Swindon, and we're just going around checking the tyres and the brakes. It's usually the first thing that we do. I will do another video actually at some point where I talk you guys through everything I do on an appraisal, so you can do it yourself as well. But for the time being, I'm just going to get to the crux of this video, which is what we found wrong with this car and why it resulted in both of us getting less. So we already knew about a dent that was on the passenger side, but there was also quite a large one on the driver's front wing. There's also another one on the front bonnet, and there's a second one on the passenger front door. Now you need to be careful with dents because not all dents can be repaired. Some dents are very difficult for a dent man to get at, and particularly that one on the driver's front wing I think might be really tricky for a dent man to get to. The other issue you can have with these dents is if someone has already tried to fill in the dent and there's filler behind it, if you go in there, you're probably just going to do more damage than good. Now what you do want to do if you do see any big dents like this, or any dents at all really, is to look closer around the area in question and see if there's any more of a story that you can put together and any more information you can gather about the car. So on this occasion, when we go in closer, you can see that this black trim is actually misaligned on the driver's front wing, which implies that it was knocked into something. And on top of that, you can see on all of these areas around here, all these small bumps on the paint. Now, what this is, when they respray a car, they're meant to clean it off and then respray over. But if you don't clean it really pristinely, then you can get bits of dust or even bits of dirt that will still be on the car. And when you paint over it, those bits of dust and dirt will stay there forever. And you get those little marks. That's a really good telltale sign that the car's had paintwork done to it. Furthermore, you can see on here, on this black trim, you've got this white line here. And again, when they do the paintwork on these cars, so that they don't get any of the paint on this black trim, they cover up the black trim with like a bit of tape. And obviously here, it wasn't fully covered up and is what we call overspray. So it's quite likely, looking closer at this car, that it's not necessarily a big accident, but it's obviously been knocked into something and it's had some sort of paintwork done. And you can even see at the bottom here, another sign again of some overspray where they didn't cover it properly with the tape. And a bit of overspray is left on this plastic part of the car. Everyone, bear with me, because I promise we're about to get to the point of this video. But how would you feel if that was you going to go buy a car and you were told it only had one dent on it and you got there and you found all the other stuff on there. Now, I hold nothing on the private seller. I don't expect a private person to be able to see where paintwork has been done in the car and see bits of misalignment and all that sort of stuff. It's not what a private person looks for. But I am paying and buying this car on a site that is claiming to appraise the vehicles. So how would you have felt? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and let me know your horror stories, because I bet there's some good ones out there. The point that I'm trying to get across to you guys is, as the dealer, if you get to a car that was described as immaculate and then you find issues with it, you're not going to know on the spot how much those issues will cost you. You know, I even said in the video, I don't know if the dent can even be done, let alone how much it will cost. So I have to prepare for the worst case scenario. And that's the price that the seller then gets. Now, if the car was advertised on Honest Cars, and we advertised it showing all of these issues with the car, then me as the dealer, I can now contact my dent man and I can send him those pictures. And I can say, how much is that going to be? And he might end up, most likely probably will tell me it will be 1/10 of the worst case scenario. So the seller is losing out if they don't explain what the issues are with their car. And a seller can't be expected to know all of these issues on a car, at least not to a professional standard. So that's why at Honest Cars, we send a professional out to professionally appraise the car. We then get the dealers to bid on it with all the information they need, meaning we can guarantee the bid to you, meaning there's no negotiating or no chipping, and you can sell your entire car, the whole process, without ever leaving the door to your house, knowing you got more than what you could have at the other platforms.